everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie for those who have for some reason forgotten, and this is Books for Us. So I feel like I haven't done a video for a while, and that's kind of true, because last week I didn't do one, and the week before it was my Pride video, but I had made that the week before, so it's been like a few weeks. Anyways, since it is June now, I decided to do the mid-year book tag. It's either the mid-year book tag or mid-year tag or the mid-year book freakout tag. Anyways, it's basically where I talk about different books I've read, different books I want to read, and kind of just check in at the middle of the year now. So there are a list of questions, so I will be going through that, showing you some of the books that I've liked or didn't like over the semester. I don't go to school anymore. Over the past 6 months. Some of them I don't have because they're library books, but I've been trying to do really well and read actually some of my own books because I have a lot on my shelves I haven't read yet. So, saying that, we will get into the first question, or first statement, I should say, which is the best book you've read so far in 2019. I have a lot of favorites, so it's kind of hard to narrow it down, but I did narrow it down to The Devouring Gray by Christine Lynn Herman. If you watch any other channel, they've probably mentioned this sometime in the past few months. So basically, The Devouring Gray is a book about this town that our main character is from. Correction, her mom is from there, but the main character, whose name escapes me right now, Violet. Her name is Violet. Her mom was raised in Four Corners, but Violet's never stepped foot in there. And then once she does, she figures out that something's kind of off about the town. So she's trying to figure out her legacy. And there's this thing called the Devouring Gray that everyone's kind of afraid of, but no one will really tell her why or why it was created. So if you want more information about this, I'm pretty sure I've brought it up in other videos. It's also on my Goodreads, as well as everyone else has been talking about it recently. So that is The Devouring Gray, my best book so far. Again, it's kind of hard because I've read so many books this year. But yeah, I'll go with this one. Oh, and by the way, all of these you can find on my Goodreads, as well as all of them are being really good books, the ones I've read. So, continuing, best sequel you have read so far in 2019. Why did I put that one down? Anyways, I had two written down for this one. That's why I said that. So the first one is The Hidden Witch by Molly Knox Ostertag. It's the second graphic novel of the Witch Boy. It's the second book in the Witch Boy series. So basically, the series centers around him, and again, Aster, and how in his family, males are shifters and females are witches, but he's male and he wants to do magic and can shift. So that is kind of the synopsis for the first one. The second one deals with her, who's kind of outside the community, and his best friend, Aster's best friend, and something's going on with her, and they don't know what. So that's that one. But the one I had written down is In an Absent Dream, which I don't have because it was a library book, and it is book number, I want to say 4 or 5 in the Wayward Children series. This follows Lundy from the first book. So it's nice to see kind of some characters coming together with all of that. So those are 2 of my best sequels you've read so far in 2019. The next question, I should say, is new release you haven't read yet but want to. And mine is Aru Shah and the Song of Death. I don't remember the author. But anyways, that's the book, Arusha and the Song of Death. It's book number 2 in the Arusha series. It's all about Indian mythology by Rick Riordan Presents. So it kind of reads like that. And it's about this girl whose mother works at a museum, and so they have like this little apartments right off the museum, and she gets dragged into the main character gets dragged into this whole world of different characters in Indian mythology that her mom was supposed to tell her about but never did. So I'm really interested to see what the second book is all about. The next book on my list, the next kind of section on this is most anticipated release for the second half. So something that hasn't come out yet, but you really want to read. And this is going to be The Firekeeper by J.C. Cervantes. It's the second book of the Stormrunner series, also by Rick Riordan Presents. If you haven't noticed, I kind of like Rick Riordan and Rick Riordan Presents because I think they're really cool to bring all of these mythologies together. Anyways, back to the book. Firekeeper. It's basically, this one is Native American mythology. So the first book dealt with Zane, who's the main character, coming to terms with who he is, finding out who he is, and kind of dealing with that and with how other people would treat him then. The second book, it kind of deals with I'm just reading the Goodreads, sorry. It deals with kind of like the aftermath of the first book and what happened and all of that fun stuff. I might have to reread the first one, The Stormrunner, just to make sure I remember what happened. The next statement on here is the biggest disappointment. For me, that was The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chashki. If I mispronounce that, forgive me. Oh, she's also the one who did Arusha. So I loved Arusha, but I didn't, which is a middle grade book, but I didn't like The Gilded Wolves. That was the biggest disappointment because I was really interested in it. I read Six of Crows in January, and then in February, I was told that The Gilded Wolves was very similar to Six of Crows. So I read it, and I think I should have given it a little more time in between reading it because I read Six of Crows and then the sequel, which is I don't remember at the moment, the Six of Crows duology. I read those in January. Because I read them then, I was comparing the Gilded Wolves to that so much that I downgraded it or downgraded. I pick your word there. Because it was so similar. It was so similar. And I realized that, books, can steal plot lines and whatever. But I was just comparing it to Six of Crows duology so much that I could not like this book as much as I wanted to. The next book, or the next statement is biggest surprise. And for me, I did Afar by Leila Del Duca. This is a graphic novel. Can be read by middle grade, but more of a teen book. And it's about these two siblings whose parents aren't always in the picture. And the sister can fall asleep and then transport herself into someone else's body. So that's what I liked about it. And I had heard like one or two other people talking about it on BookTube. I hadn't heard it at the library at all. So I wasn't expecting much from this. And it didn't sound like it didn't sound like me. But I read it and I gave it a 4 stars, which is pretty good. Because it's really well illustrated and really well written. I'm kind of interested to see if there's a sequel. I really want there to be a sequel for this, actually, because it kind of left off on a little odd note. The next one is Newest Fictional Crush. I honestly, I don't do fictional crushes. I don't even do normal crushes. So I skipped that one and instead went with the next one, newest favorite character. I did two of those. Um, and the first one, let me grab it real quick. Sorry about the camera shaking if it's shaking. That is the main character from Dragon Pearl, which let me grab it for you, Min. So if you don't know Dragon Pearl is Korean mythology in space, basically. Min is one of my new favorite characters. Again, I have a lot, but her whole family can transform into foxes, which are seen kind of as protectors. So she's my new favorite, one of my new favorite characters. Again, Rick Riordan Presents. I think this is like book 3 I've brought up. Yeah, this is book 3 by Rick Riordan Presents. So I'm sorry about that, but I really like these books that bring in different cultures and different mythologies. Okay, my other favorite character is Jesper from Six of Crows duology. Um, Again, really interested. I really like this series, this duology. I haven't yet read Six of Crows yet. Sorry, this is Six of Crows. Grishaverse. I haven't read the Grishaverse trilogy yet. But I really liked this Jesper and kind of his relationships because, as far as I know, he's bi. He's at least bi. So I'm glad that there is someone who's bi in here because I love representation in all of these. Now, I did skip one. I skipped number 7, which is favorite new author to you. So it could be they could have like 30 books out, but you're just reading them now. And that is, for me, that's Tommy Adeyemi, who wrote Children of Blood and Bone. I really like how she sets up everything, the world building she does. This is her debut, which I was really happy with because it's an amazing, amazing debut novel, and she's coming out with another one in December. So I'm really interested to see where she takes it from here. So that's the one I skipped. So for any of those keeping track, I'm sorry. I'll leave all of this down below. Now, next one, going after fictional crush and favorite character, is number 10, which book that made you cry. This didn't make me cry, but I was really close to it, and that is Homegoing by Ya Gyasi. I talked about this, I believe, back in February for Black History Month, and this is about the different sisters who grew up in different towns, and this is what the family tree looks like. If you can see that. So basically, each chapter then is like another person down. So like the first one I think is Effa, and then the next one is Essie, and it keeps going between the two lines. Sorry if I bumped the camera at all, but it was really sad, and you see how everything kind of comes full circle, all of that, and I really liked it. The next one I don't have with me because it was a library book, but it's Book That Made You Happy. And for this one, I did a graphic novel called Super Late Bloomer. Again, I believe I talked about this, but I'm not sure. It might have been in my Pride video, but again, I made that like 3 weeks ago. So Super Late Bloomer, I don't have the author right off the top of my head here. You can go on Goodreads. But it's about the author's journey on transitioning in her 20s or 30s. I think it's about that. And so she makes comic strips on different days, kind of saying, you know, today I felt this, or today someone did this and I liked it, or whatever else. And it's a really cute story. It's a kind of coming of age autobiography. and it's really cute. Definitely check it out. I have, again, more information on my Goodreads, as well as, I believe, the Pride video I did. The next kind of section we have is most beautiful book you've bought so far or received. I had about 5 or 6 books laying on the floor, trying to figure out which one I wanted to go with. And the one I went with is Bloodleaf, The Strongest Magic Requires the Greatest Sacrifice by Crystal Smith. There we go. So I really like, it's really funny though, because like 3 of the 6 were purple colored base, but I just love this cover, and you see the little blood on the bottom and the thorns that you can prick your finger with and bleed. So it's really colorful, and I like how the thorns, when you feel the cover, they come off the page. Same with everything else on the page, actually. But yeah, this is one of my favorite covers. Okay, the last section on this, number 13, is lucky 13. But it's what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Now, I have a lot of books that I want to read, period. I'll start with a few of the backlist items, then I want to go to some of the ones that'll be published this year. It's a lot, so I won't summarize all of them, if any. I'll just kind of go through them with the title and the author, because there are a lot, and I know this video is getting a little long. Let's start with Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I've read the first one, but not the last 2, and those are out. It's about these 2 sisters going to a Caraval. The next series that I want to read is the Grishaverse trilogy, starting with Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo, which I mentioned before with Sex of Crows. More books in that series. I also want to finish A Wrinkle in Time. There are 5 books. I've read, I think, 2. This is 3 of them, the first 3, and I have the other 2 in another set. So I want to finish this series. I want to read The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. And very beautiful cover. I want to read Trials of Apollo, possibly, because I want to read the rest of the other 2 series, Heroes and Percy Jackson, before this one, so it might be a little lengthy, but we'll see how that goes. I also want to, again, these are a lot of books, and sorry, I know I just bumped the camera. I want to read Bruja Born by Zoraida Cordova, which is in Brooklyn, I believe. This was also one of the covers I wanted to say, but I want to read Romanoff by Nadine Brandes. This year, it's a standalone, as far as I know, and about the Romanovs. And then the other one that I have that I want to read is Fox, also by Nadine Brandes, about the whole remember the 5th of November thing with Guy Fawkes. So those are all of the kind of the backlist ones I have, and I just bumped the camera again, I'm sorry. But as for other books that I want to read that aren't out yet, here's the list. The Magician's Alice's Story by Lila Sturgis's. House of Salt and Sorrow by Aaron A. Craig, Ziggy, Stardust, and Me by James Brandon, The Firekeeper, like I said before, by J.C. Cervantes, Capturing the Devil by Carria Maniscalco. It's book number 4, so I'd have to read the other ones to get up to that. Wayward Son, which is Rainbow Rowell. Simon Snow, book 2, which I would have to read the first one for that. The Infinite Noise by Lauren Shippen. The Tyrant's Tomb, which goes along with the Hidden Oracle because it's Trials of Apollo #4 by Rick Riordan. A lot of these books, a lot of books. Sorry, guys. Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky, which is book #1 in the series by Kwame Mabali. Another Rick Riordan presents. I'm not sure which mythology it goes off of, but it is a mythology book. The Midwinter Witch by Molly Ostertag, which is the Witch Boy #3, which I showed you with the Hidden Witch. Children of Virtue and Vengeance, which is Children of Blood and Bone #2, by Todi Adeyemi. Wow. And the last one is Diamond and Dawn, which is Amber and Dusk #2 by Lyra Selena. Yeah, that's all I have on Goodreads right now that I'm seeing. So, those are all the books that were part of the mid-year book freakout tag, whatever, calling this now. So, if you have any questions about any of those books, again, let me know. Look on Goodreads. I will put up all of the questions in the description of this video so you can find it there, as well as my Goodreads account, so you can go into more detail with all of these books, especially the ones I didn't talk about there at the end, or if I forgot an author's name, I'm sorry, and it'll be on my Goodreads. So again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down in the comments below. And as well as always, I will see you guys later. Bye.